What's up guys? Steve Chambers coming at you with another video. Today what we're going to be doing is going over the hamstring. So what I'm going to do is show you how to test your hamstring, how to mobilize it, how to foam roll it, and how to stretch it out. A lot of people think touching your toes means that you have good hamstring flexibility, but I can tell you from experience that is not the case. And what can actually happen is by you trying to touch your toes all the time is you'll actually end up building more mobility in our thoracic spine than we actually want instead of targeting those hamstrings. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to take care of that today. Let's get started. All right guys, so first thing we're going to do is test out the hamstring. Now there's going to be two ways you can actually do this. The first way, you're going to need a partner, and what you're actually going to do is lay on the floor and get someone to lift your leg up and see how high up it goes. Now if you are by yourself like I am right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to do a simple hip hinge test. Now what we're looking for is to be 100 degrees or less. So what that's going to look like is you're just going to take your camera of your phone, put it beside you, and you're just going to stand here and you're just going to lean forward. Now you're going to bend your knees a bit and try to lean forward from your hip. So we're just going to be here, lean forward, lean forward, lean forward until you feel that nice stretch back here and you're not rounding your upper back, and then come back up. Now if you hit 100 degrees or lower, what that tells you is you don't have a problem with your hamstrings. But if you do hit higher than that, what that tells you is your problem is in your hamstring. Now, what a lot of people don't get is touching your toes isn't actually a true indicator of your hamstring flexibility. To give you an example of that, before I was at about 130 to 140 degrees. So what that looks like is from here to probably around like here. Now, at that point, I could actually touch my toes easy like this, right? And the reason why is because I was getting all my mobility from my lower back and upper back. And trust me, that is not a good thing. What we need to realize is when we're trying to get straight leg hamstring mobility, what actually comes into play is the hip flexor. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that when we are creating mobility in the hamstring, we're creating strength in the hip flexor to be able to support it. So this drill is great because it's going to address both of those things. So first thing what you're going to want to do is just find a wall in your house, or you can use a door frame, which is going to work really well. And I want you guys to start a bit farther away. So what I'm going to do is start a bit farther away from the wall, just like so. And you're just going to put your leg up there. Now, what I want you to do is you're going to take your foot and you're going to push it into the wall as hard as you can for about 10 seconds. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I'm going to lift it off and hold it for 10 while squeezing the glute as hard as I can. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, what you're going to realize is when you're pushing, you're going to feel it in the hamstring. When you're pulling, you're going to feel it in the hip flexor because we're trying to strengthen both of these. Now, whatever distance we pull it away from the wall, that's about how close you want to get to the wall on the next rep. So we're going to go a little bit closer. Stay here. Push 10 seconds. And 10. Lift off. And 10. When it comes to releasing your hamstring, we have two options. We can use a lacrosse ball and a foam roller. A really awesome drill I like to use is with a lacrosse ball, but for that, you're going to need a table. Once you have a table or a bench at the gym, what you can do is grab a lacrosse ball or an acupuncture ball, and what we're going to do is put this under a hamstring just like this, and we want to start near the upper part. From there, what you're going to do is pull down just a bit, and then you're just going to flex your foot up and then back down. And what this is going to do is floss the hamstring over the lacrosse ball to get rid of any of those bad spots. And then you can play around with it, bring it a bit lower towards the knee, same thing, push down and lift up like that. Now that we've mobilized the hamstring and we've rolled it out, it's time to stretch. Now, we can go into that toe touch stretch. It will help, but now that I've told you guys that we want to focus more on the hip hinge, an even better idea would be to grab like a ledge, so use your stairs, a chair, or the edge of your couch. And what I want you guys to do is literally just put your foot up like this, and then while keeping your back straight, just lean forward as hard as you can. Now you want to hold this for about 30 seconds, just squeezing nice and tight. and making sure that we're not doing this. So we want to make sure that the chest is tight and we're just trying to get that stretch from our hip hinge and not from our upper or lower back. All right, guys, so just to wrap this up, what we want to do is make sure that we test our hamstring and see if that's what's the root of the problem for us not being able to touch our toes and for us not being able to perform simple tasks like a deadlift. And you can repeat these things 3 to 4 times a week to really see the results happen fast. I hope this video helped you guys out. Just make sure if you do like this video, hit that button, drop any comments if you have any questions, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Until next time, I'm out.